Here's the walnut tree in my backyard, and you can see here that the leaves are starting to drop. It's the end of August. The nuts, they're going to linger a little bit longer, but I'm going to go up there and harvest some of them. I need to make some walnut stain for some projects I have going. So let me get a hold of these. To 2 cups of water, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of dried powdered walnut husks. I'm going to bring this up to a boil and then turn it down to simmer, and I'll simmer it for about an hour. As the dehydrated walnut husk reconstitutes in the simmer here, it gets thicker. The amount of time on the stove is going to vary, and what you want to do is heat the liquid, simmer it, and you want to reduce the liquid by half. So the easy way to do that is just take a stick, a chopstick, or like here a craft stick, and you can see the height. Now I'll heat that up until it's half of that. So that's about 3/4 of an inch. I'll heat this until it's down to about 3/8 of an inch. So that will have reduced the liquid by half. To have a quicker evaporation, that's going to be determined by the amount of heat that you're applying to it. So we want to do this at a simmer, and just so that it has more time to cook out the color out of the dehydrated powder. And also the evaporation rate is going to be dependent upon the surface area of the vessel that you're heating. And I have 2 cups of water in a large saucepan. So I have a pretty good surface area here, so that should cut the evaporation time down very, very quickly. Okay, it's been about 40 minutes. And right there where half the liquid is gone. Now we turn it off the heat, and we're going to let this cool down, and when it's cool we're going to add 1 cup of isopropyl alcohol. Okay, the liquid is cooled down, and you can see how thick and dark the liquid is. And now I'm going to add 1 cup of alcohol, and this will do a couple things. First, it'll allow me to filter more of the liquid out. It's washing the stain out of the pulp that's still in there. It'll help me filter, run through a filter better when I want to clarify it, or not clarify it, it's dark, to separate the pulp. It will help the stain penetrate the wood or whatever you're using more readily, and it will basically give you an infinite storage life to this stain if it's put in a jar and sealed. Okay, now let's run that through a sieve. I have a piece of cheesecloth lined in a colander or a sieve, and I'm going to pour this mix into a jar. Okay, now we're going to stain this, and we're using the walnut stain that we just made, and I have about 1.5 cups of stain. This is a really nice stain to work with. It's a natural stain. It's quick and easy to make. It can be made out of fresh walnut hulls, or what I have done is dehydrated walnut hulls, made it into a powder, and I used the powder to mix up my stains. The walnuts that I was picking, they're still too immature. You need to have those hulls to be a little bit soft. The ones that I just picked were as hard as a golf ball. So rather than leave those set and wait, I just decided to use my dehydrated hull for making stain. I also use this for dyeing clothing. If I want the quiver to be darker, I'll give it a second coat after it's dry. Now this stain is going to keep basically forever because of the alcohol that's in it.